All right, now coming up to the stage is going to be Dorothy Freidman, a widely published award-winning poet and editor of White Rabbit, Downtown Poets, and other collections. She has been awarded 2 New York Foundation of the Arts Fellowships, a Kathy Acker Award, and others. Her poetry has been anthologied in over 20 collections, most recently in New York City, From the Inside, edited by George Wallace, and Maintenance, edited by Peter Karlafkes and Kat Georges. She's read and performed work at over 100 venues, including the Poetry Project, the Bowery Poetry Club, and has published 3 books of poetry. Additional 2 forthcoming later this year. Open-ended, with drawings by Anthony Hayden, Guest and As If, published by And Then Press, and a memoir, The Bastard Heirs, about her adventures on the Lower East Side in the 1980s. Everybody, give a hand for Dorothy Freidman.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Great program. Nice to hear this wonderful music. So, for some reason, this poem came to mind, actually. It's an old poem that I wrote many years ago, but if it reminds you of anybody in the present, since it was written in the past, it's about Tarzan. You know any Tarzans in your life? It's called Human Interest. Tarzan awoke, wild and distraught, tugging at his loincloth, amid the harsh sounds of city people. And coming sure and careful from his treehouse, he was ready to meet the clicking flashbulbs and stand before the sharp-nosed inquisitors. But finally he admitted under the barrage that Boy had run off to join the Hare Krishnas, while denying the rumor about Jane and himself, saying she was only visiting her mother, till he broke down and said it was the fault of a tribe of conscience-raising bitches, swearing she'd never make it on her own. Then he beat his chest, gave the cry, and smiled for pictures. Okay. How I was born, how I was born. I was born gnawing at my own flesh and ripped myself from society's womb with bloody fingernails. I was born with a man crashing his fist down on me. I was born encumbered by compulsory sterilization's attempt at population control and gender normalizing. I was born in the shadow of the eugenics movement and shock treatments and the final solution. I watched my father in the 50s shocked into being a nice Jewish man, his voice frozen in his throat. I was born controlled by strange hands who held me down at Welfare Island. I was born in a loony bin among misfits and lunatics. I had no mother, so I bought one at the lottery of missing parents. What could a creature like me become who wouldn't say the Pledge of Allegiance? They tried to condition me to be a good Jewish daughter, but I'm not really sure if I am a man or a woman, black or white, George Floyd or Breonna Taylor. But in the videotape, I am a voice that won't stay shut. So in the 80s, the late 80s, many of you probably know this, but there were riots in the East Village at Tompkins Square Park, in particular because of the closing of the park and the ousting of the homeless people living there in Tent City. And a couple of years later, they put in a dog park where the people had lived. So I wrote a poem about it called People and Dogs. Tompkins Square Park, Halloween, 1991. Dogs are having a costume party for Halloween in Tompkins Square Park. The best-dressed dog gets a year's supply of dog biscuits. These are the dogs. Where are the people? Why are people dirty, smelly outcasts and dogs bought beauty products and condos? Homo sapiens sleep on stained mattresses on Avenue A while dogs are coddled by their masters. This is a poem in which hope is for canines, not Homo sapiens. We lie down like dogs and get up like people. Who are the dogs and who are the people? Look, I am a dog. Pet me, stroke my fur, and give me a place to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you can actually see this very clearly, but this is a photograph of a gun in the lap of a baby doll, if you know what I mean. A gun, baby. I've been born with a gun in my lap, I guess. The photo is by Gary Azon, who's having a photography show right now at Tompkins Square Park, a retrospective of 80s photography that includes Tompkins Square riots and all that jazz. And you know, and celebrities, you know, if you care about people like Andy Warhol and Allen Ginsberg, but we care about everybody, right? So those are not the only people to look at. Okay, this is called The Very Same People. When we heard the news that Diallo had been shot 41 times by mistake, we pictured the shooting in our minds and wondered how many times it took to kill a person, to get that body to lie down peacefully in its pool of blood, to stop moving. When did the last twitch occur? How many seconds passed? How many people fired on him as he reached for pictures of his wife and his son? And I imagine my umbrella as the wallet Amadou Diallo was reaching for. Imagine what it was like to be black in a dark alleyway, oh, well, maybe just in front of my own door, taking out keys, and my face merged with a sea of faces darker than my own. And I know what it is like to be a suspect, to look suspicious, to be offbeat in a conventional crowd, to have your steps measured. As you pace in a holding tank at Cabrini Medical Center, impounded for hours in a small room except for a chair, because you're overly anxious, your small 98-pound torso, weak and stumbling, is a stretch to the structure as the guards follow you to the bathroom and strip off all your clothes and say, "Don't move an inch."
Yeah.
Okay, well, to continue, thank you. Don't move an inch or you will be thrown in with the other weirdos and sodomized like Abner Louima was in a police station when the police forced their nightsticks up his rectum over breaking his sphincter muscles as he gagged on the toilet bowl, and they made him swallow his semen too. Aren't these the very same people as the police on the rooftop of the Wawa hut aiming their rifles at the homeless people in Tompkins Square Park? Aiming their rifles at the people and dragging them off. Aren't these the same people that challenged the mayor's curfew? I mean, the same people who confiscated Clayton Patterson's camera and closed down Tompkins Square Park? Aren't these the very same people? Okay, so, yeah. I can find it. Anyway, so I think I'll do the money poem is next, because that sort of fits in with everything, and then I'll do one last poem. Okay, I can't seem to find it, but that's okay. Okay, the money poem. Everything is made of money. The sky sheen is platinum, the October leaves are bronze, the farmhouse windows are glazed in crystal. Nothing goes on that is not money. The supper hum from the houses, it is about money. The hero moving past the dirt road to the tennis courts, he is about money. All the automobiles are beeping with it. The poem in which the hand is a blue flower, the words are a screen, it is about money. 2, let's find out what is the great success and move on. It is not being black in America or the shape of the wind on white curtains. It is not money, old friends, or the sun. It is not the history of ideas. The great success is not he married her and they ate lobster, or the sunny sides of eggs and perfect teeth. As usual, you get no answer at all, and there are no history books to refer to. You just come as close as you can and move on. And 3, money never has to take a sandwich for lunch. Money never has to cry, put up with, or flounder. Money will not save marriages on rotten novels. It will merely twist them into shape. Money is a postcard from the other side of the imagination. It's the aquamarine in the fake sunshine. Money has perfect knowledge of the world. It never cries, puts up with, or stretches. Money never has to become arrogant or loving or grow gray. Money is, oh God, the true poet. That's that. And one last poem. Oh, okay. It's called, it was just published in Maintenance. They publish really wonderful political poetry as well as beautiful illustrations. It's called I Speak Out for Johnny the Ice Cream Man. I speak out for Johnny the Ice Cream Man, for Larry the comp lit teacher, for Judy the CPA, for illegal aliens and sex workers, for lesbians and transgender people, for Helen the medievalist and Dr. Ruth the sex therapist, for congenital liars and misfits, for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I speak out for the brothers and sisters who I've never met rotting in prisons and mental hospitals who can't be here to speak for themselves. I speak out for the overweight, ugly, and unkempt, the pimply, acne-scarred bedwetters and nose pickers, as well as the beautiful and unblemished. I speak out for rich and poor, for the elderly with their soft bones and wobbly walking sticks, feeble bodies and strong minds, for the beauty and humanity in each of us, as well as the ugliness and apathy. I speak out for those who are not yet born and those dead and dying on battlefields, for the first step of the baby and the last step of the grandmother, for the hip-hop and the waltz, for Charlie Parker and Dorothy Parker, for cleaner air and the touch of a human hand, for those in Afghanistan and those in the Hamptons. I speak out for all those caught between two places, the bigamist between wives, the daughter between mothers, the composers and the decomposed, the mestizos between two races, the dispossessed and the possessed, between two songs, two sexes, two prejudices, and two enlightenments. And I speak out for matrimony and hegemony and existentialism and colloquialism, for colonialism and comparative literature. I speak out for vanity and sanity and lunacy, and for all those caught between John Ashbery's double dream of spring and Amiri Baraka's soundings, for an academic whip and a meditation on the abuses of power, for the mediocre and the immature, for emotionality and obsessive love, I speak out for the common good, for the romance of cynicism and idealism, and for the Pillsbury Doughboy. I speak out for the mother who left us, for the children who left us, and the child in each of us. And I speak out for small-town snobbishness and big-city elitism, and for the poem that never ends, because there's never an end to speaking out.
Yeah!
And anyway, if you want to stop by Tompkins Square Library, Gary Azon's photographs will be there through August, and there'll be a party as well on August 22nd. And it's great to be here, and thank you all very much.
All right, give it up one more time for Dorothy Freidman, everybody. All right, all right.